This podcast is for mature adults and may contain explicit language. The members of this podcast opinions are solely based on their experiences, interactions, and life situations. It does not reflect the views of everyone. Viewer discretion is advised.
With your host, Legit, Easy E, the Traffic Queen, and Titus the Cop. Yeah, easy. We peeped it. Yeah, we peeped it. With your host, Legit, Easy E, the Top Queen, and Titus the Cop.
Hey everybody, this is your girl, the Topic Queen from the We Peeped It crew, coming to you live in studio to let you know that backed by popular demand, the cattin off segment. This time around, we've decided to dedicate an entire show to the friendship cat. We're going to be talking about our own personal experiences where friends have catted off on us to the point where we've had to simply cut them off. Whether they were unsupportive, they just stopped showing up for us, or maybe they just started moving differently and we grew apart. Let us know what you think. We peeped it first. WEPEEPEDIT1ST on Twitter and on Instagram and at gmail.com. 2 opinions, too many topics, 1 crown. I am the Topic Queen signing off until next time. Holla at your girl. Peace.
So I really just want to talk about this cattin off shit. I feel like this shit has really gotten out of hand. I feel like there are so many types of cats. But the type of cat I'm talking about is the unloyal friend. The friend who claims that they are supportive. Friends who don't ever support you but get mad when you're making moves, without them. Like, for instance, me and you took a trip or whatever to San Diego, and we gave people well enough advance notice about when we were going to San Diego and our plans, and me and you had a blast, right? The both of us had a blast, but motherfuckers felt some type of way because they weren't there and had issues with how we were turning up, and I just think that's motherfucking crazy because you weren't there, you feel some type of way about it.
Well, I also think that if you're going to cat off on something, you really shouldn't have an opinion on what happened at that event if you catted. Like, I don't see what leg you have to stand on. Like, it wasn't like it was something that you weren't invited to. You were invited to. You had more than enough notice to get there, and you decided not to. So to come back and to say something negative about the situation, I feel like it's a hater move. Like, you're mad because you weren't there?
Right, exactly. And I've had friends like this for years that I've had to just pretty much give them the boot because I'm like, you're not motherfucking benefiting me. And yes, people, there are cats out there that are just not beneficial to your motherfucking life. And that's how you can lose friends this way. Being this type of motherfucking cat, you can lose friends this way. Keep that same energy. You didn't want to fuck with me then, so now you feel some type of way because you aren't getting invited to places. This is like, when you're not reciprocating that energy, I'm not going to put any more energy into you.
But I think it's the same thing with like any relationship. Like, you have to put in effort and you have to put in work, whether it's a personal relationship like boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, or if it's friendships. Like, even working relationships take work. Like, you have to work at your relationships. You have to show up for people. You have to be there. A lot of people give a lot of lip service, but when it comes to actually following that up with action, people fall short. And one thing that I really do not like when people do is when they say, well, I don't have time for that. I do think you do have time for that. You make time for what you find important to you. So don't tell me you don't have time for something, and then I see a couple of days later that you're out living it up on the town. Okay, but you made time for that, but you didn't make time to show up for me. So that's like a mental note for me. Like, okay, going forward, I feel like it's one of these things. Once you show me your true colors, I'm going to believe you. And you won't ever have to worry again about me inviting you to something.
I mean, exactly. That's just like, when I come back home and people are like, well, let's get together. And I'm just like, no, because I can't trust you. And then people expect you to make all these type of plans and, they put that responsibility on you. And it's just like, no, I've done this enough. Like, can you do something? How about you tell me the time, the place, you put it together, and I'll show up if you're really about it. But if not, like, I don't want to hear all that yapping.
Or like even like, for example, you have a group of girlfriends. You guys have made this plan as a group of girlfriends that once a month you're going to get together, and what you're going to do is you're going to rotate whose house you go to on this 1 month thing that you got to do together. Like, so it's going to be like, oh, it's 4 girls. You rotate the houses, and at the house, you come up with the thing. So it could be game night. It could be tacos and tequila. It could be whatever you want it to be for it to be girls' night, and you are one of the people in this group of girls, and you're always the one going, oh, so-and-so should host it, or so-and-so should host it, and you never actually host one at your house, but you're looking for everybody to do that.
Right.
That I feel like that's the same thing. Like, you can't expect for your friends to go above and beyond, spend all this money on food, buying you little gifts for giveaways for the actual dinner or whatever the case may be for the event, and then you never show up for your friends. You're always too busy, or you have too many people in your house, or there's always some type of excuse of why they can't show up for you. So I feel like these are one of the things, as you get older, you start to realize that you grow out of friendships. You're moving in one direction, they're moving in another direction, and it's just no matter how close you were before, your friendships may not ever be the same just because you're on 2 different wavelengths of where your life wants to go. So I think it's a growing thing. Like, you outgrow your friends, and it gets to a point where if they're not going to be supportive, that they're forcing you to put yourself in a position where you have to cut them off.
Right, and I feel like you can't get mad if somebody makes that decision. You have to think about all the things you've done to that person, or think like, wow, I really haven't been as supportive as I should have, or, maybe I'm not holding up my weight. And so it's like, you can't sit there and get pissed off because somebody's decided to grow and somebody's decided to move on.
And that's why I think you have to really use like the term friend, and my friend, like, these are my friends, but they're like family to me. Like, you call them your brother or your sister or whatever the case may be, because it's just dangerous. Like, what being a friend to you may not be what being a friend is to them. Like, you may be on 2 different wavelengths of support level for your friends. You know what I mean? Like, there's some friends that I consider acquaintances. Am I going to show up to everything that they have going on? No. But then I have other friends that are like family to me. And it's not about length of time. That's another thing that I want to talk about too. Mm-hmm. Being good friends with someone has nothing to do with length of time. You can know somebody for years and they could have been fucking you over for years and not have really been your friend. And you can meet somebody next week that you're like, dude, I have a really good connection with them. They're one of my greatest friends. I mean, I don't think time really solidifies, because that's a lot of people do that. Well, we've been friends but have we? Because just because you say we're friends, if you're not backing that up with action, then are we really friends? I can't call you my friend if I don't talk to you at least on a monthly basis. Because in 3 months' time, some shit has changed for me. You know what I mean? So, so to me, a friend is someone that knows what's going on in your life, is invested on what's going on in your life. And in return, you are the same way, and they show up for you. They may not be able to show up to everything, but they're honest about what they can and cannot show up to. And I think that's the biggest thing. Like, if you got to be honest. You got to be honest about who you are and what your intentions are, even when it comes to friendships.
And you make a good point. You have to be realistic too. Everybody can't make it to everything. And so, there's some things you do have to pick and choose, what events that you're going to. You have to understand that people are busy and they have obligations. But for somebody that just never comes through for you, and then they expect you to come through for them, that's just kind of ass backwards. So let me tell you, I had a friend who I don't even know if I could really consider them friends anymore, because I feel like you said, they've been catting off on me for motherfucking years. So let me tell you, I recently just declined going to a wedding because I feel like the energy that I have for this person, it just wasn't there. They didn't feel the same way about me. So I declined everything that had to do with that wedding, because I'm just like, when I have an event, you're a no-show. You're nowhere to be found. You don't really check in. You don't really check in with me, and this is a person who, at one point we're like, you know what, you're going to be in my wedding, I'm going to be in your wedding, and, and I get I didn't even know if I was going to get an invitation, and I'm just like, oh, I'm not even in the wedding and we're supposed to be close like this, and I'm talking you have 10 to 15 to 20 motherfucking bridesmaids, and I'm just like, no, and you expect to get something off your registry? I don't know. You're sending me the link to where you're registered at. How about I send you the link to zerofucksgiven.com?
Well, I mean that's a perfect example of someone that has not really checked in with you, doesn't know what's going on in your life to current date, and they're having some type of big milestone in their life, which I'm sure you've had some type of milestone in your life that they did not show up for, and they're expecting you to show up because, oh, we've been friends so long. And people have that thing, like there are friends that I have where it's like we don't talk to each other, probably not even every day, probably not even once a month, but when we get together it's like we've never been apart.
Like you haven't skipped a beat.
Right, and there's some friends that are like that, and we know that about each other. Like,
right,
we know that when we get together, it's live. Like, it's fine. We don't need to check in with each other weekly, daily, whatever. And then there's friends that I have that I'm in contact with them constantly throughout the day, where I talk to them all day long, pretty much throughout my day, and I'm okay with that too. But I think you can't go from, oh, you're one of my best friends in the world, you're going to be in my wedding one day, to completely go and ghost to the next time I hear from you, it's an invitation in the mail to go to something to spend money on you. Like, I just feel like that's like, how about a lunch and we catch up, or, you know, whatever the case may be, so I can know what's going on with you and you can know what's going on with me, than to hear from you through a wedding invitation.
And then you gonna send the invitation with no +1. Oh, you really motherfucking catting off.
Well, yeah, because you expect me to sit up there at your wedding with people that I don't really know, because at this point, your group of friends and everything that you're doing is something that I'm not involved in, because I've been removed from your life at this point, right? So I'm going to be sitting up here at a wedding with people that I don't even know, and if it even is our mutual people there that I do know, it's going to be a weird conversation because they haven't seen me in years. So whether that's your family members or whatever, you can only do so much catching up, and then it's like, okay. Because you're at somebody else's wedding. It's not like it's a barbecue or, you know, or something like, it's a wedding. So I just, in that situation, I really don't know what that person was expecting from you. Like, I don't get that.
And then let's talk about the motherfucking cats who you haven't talked to in motherfucking years or months, but the motherfucker is all of a sudden in your town needing somewhere to stay, needing a couch to sleep on, a bed to sleep on, some water to motherfucking drink. I'm supposed to provide that for you? In what world?
Wait, time out. I'm dying. Okay, so you have not heard from somebody in months. They hit you up talking about, hey, I heard you're down in Southern California or whatever. I'm about to be out there. You know, you think I could slide through and stay with you for a couple of days? Like, that's trifling. That's beyond catting. That's just flat out. Like, you're trifling. You have no home training. How dare you? Like, how dare you? How the balls on that person? Like, how dare you? I haven't heard from you in months, and you're gonna hit me up so you can have a couch to lay on, run up my electricity and my water? Yeah, no.
Not happening. You ain't paying these motherfucking utility bills. No.
Not happening. Or the person that calls you only because they want something from you. Like, they invite you to something because they want you to bring something. A lot of times it has to do with, like, food. Like, if you can cook and you can cook something and a lot of people like that particular thing that you cook, they will call you like, hey, I haven't heard from you. You think you want to show up for this such event? Oh, and by the way, can you make X, Y, and Z and bring it with you? So
that's my mac and cheese, motherfuckers. Oh, I would love to see your mac and cheese at the event. Oh, you don't want to fucking see me. You want to see my mac and cheese at the event. You better fucking learn how to cook, my nigga.
I think that is the ultimate cat. Like, we might need a whole segment on just that. Like, how you gonna call me because you need something cooked for you? You want to see my food at the event, but you haven't even thought about inviting me? Like, what the fuck? Or the only reason why you're inviting me is so I can bring food.
Right, you catting off on this friendship, this relationship, this situationship, but trying to reap my motherfucking benefits.
Yeah.
You better call Martha.
Yeah. Yeah. That's trifling. Like, that's a whole nother level of trifling right there. That's a whole nother level of catting off. I ain't talked to your ass in months and you want to hit me up and ask me if I could stay at your house? Or you want to hit me up and ask me you're having an event and you want me to cook something for you? Fuck off my phone.
That's what I'm talking about. Keep that same motherfucking energy. I haven't heard from you in motherfucking years.
Yeah, off my phone with that, because that's just, like I said, that person has balls. For you to do that's really ballsy. I would love to see your mac and cheese at my event. Oh, really?
Like, shit, who is this? I don't even think I have your motherfucking name in my phone, in my contact list. Like, no.
You know, and that's funny too, because I've done that. I've deleted people that were my so-called friends out of my phone completely. And I don't know about everybody else, but I don't answer numbers I don't know. So I usually let it go to voicemail, and if it's something serious or it's someone that I know that's calling me from another number because they're in a bind, I figure you will leave a message, and I will know that it's you. So if you're calling me and I have deleted your number, there's a good chance that I'm not going to answer that phone call. So there's been times where I've seen numbers, they've left me messages, and I've been like, oh, they're alive still. Like, I haven't heard from you forever, so yeah, you're not in my phone anymore. And then people get butthurt, like, oh, you don't have my number anymore? No, I haven't talked to you in like 2 or 3 years. I live by the philosophy, if I haven't talked to you in the last 3 months, we are not acquainted. Because a lot of things change in 3 months' time. And I'm not about to keep up that space in my phone for you. For what?
Like, let me tell you, when we were talking about how people haven't shown up for you for years, and the only time you see this person is at a funeral, that speaks motherfucking volumes.
Yeah. Or you only see and you know, that's the same thing with family members. Family members can be the same way, where you only see them show up to the big events. They can't call you no other time unless, one, they're trying to be messy, or two, it's some type of big event and they trying to get their plate on, or whatever the case may be. Other than that, you don't hear from them.
Or they want some money. Dee and them talking about, I seen you on TV, or you got a podcast now. I'm trying to get on your podcast because you coming up.
Yeah, well, see, that's trifling too. Like, yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, there's a lot of piggybacking ass people out there in the world that want to piggyback off of what somebody else got going on, but go ghost. Like, or the people that are like, you tell them about what you're doing from the get-go. Like, I want to do this podcast. You should get on this, that, and the other. I'm like, no, they've got every excuse in the world why they can't do it. Then the podcast starts hitting, and all of a sudden, oh, I'm trying to get on. Oh, now you're trying to get on.
Right? I mean, and we talked about that type of cat in our very, very first episode, but I know a lot of people out there deal with these type of cats, or some of y'all are probably these type of cats. And for some of y'all who are these type of cats, this is how you lose people this fucking way. Believe it or not.
Yeah, you know, and then I think for the people out there that do this and maybe they don't know how irritating and how I feel like disrespectful it is as a friend to be that way. You know, those people that you considered your friends maybe 5-6 years ago, and you guys were cool, you guys were talking, and all of a sudden they don't fuck with you no more, and you have no idea why. They just stop returning your phone calls when you do call. They don't return your text messages when you do text. They just completely fell off. It's probably because they had enough of your shit, and they're tired of dealing with it, and so they don't want to be around you anymore. You know, being a good friend goes a long way, and I think that people forget that. Like, we live in a culture where people are so quick to, like, clown on people and talk about people and people down, but there's not really a lot of people out there that really cherish and value their friendships. And I think that's the reason why as you get older, you realize your friend circle is smaller and smaller, because the people that you spend the most of your time with are like-minded like you. They're moving their life in a direction that you're moving your life in a direction. And that's what I was saying in the beginning of the podcast, that sometimes you just outgrow each other when it comes to friendship. Like, you're making moves and you're doing things to maybe better yourself, get yourself on a different plateau, different platform, whatever. And this person's okay being, and I'm not saying anything's wrong with it, but they're okay with being complacent, doing their 9 to 5 or whatever the case may be, hanging out with their same group of friends, not really getting out, and that's not really who you are anymore. So I don't think there's anything wrong with it, but you outgrow people. It's just the way that it is.
And I also want to talk about some of the men who have homegirls or girls who they just consider sisters, look, we don't always want to see your motherfucking girlfriend at the event. Yes, I'm talking about you type of cats. You see this bitch all the time. Why is it that when we try to spend quality time, your girlfriend has to be there?
Well, I've had this issue too, and to me, it has nothing to do on whether I like the girlfriend or not.
Right.
Especially if it's like, I have two really good guy friends that I spend a lot of time with, and one of them was dating a young lady that I really did not care for. He's still dating this young lady. I do not care for her. And I don't make my friends choose between me and their significant other or me or another friend. I just bow out. Like, look, this is who you want to be around? Then just know that you will not be seeing me, because I'm not about to play them games. I'm not about to make you choose between your girlfriend and me. I'm not doing that. And I'm not doing the whole, it used to be the three of us hanging out, going, getting drinks, this, that, and the other. And now we've got this other person here that don't have the same rapport we have. I don't feel like I can speak as freely. I can't say the things that I want to say to you without her maybe feeling a certain type of way because she doesn't understand our dynamic. Or maybe it's just because I don't want the bitch around. Like, I haven't seen y'all. I want to hang out with y'all. It ain't got nothing to do with her necessarily. It's just, she ain't a part of this circle. So at some point you got to be like, you got to stay home. But then I think that comes into play with them being in a relationship of that girl having an attitude. Like, oh, you're going to go hang out with your girl best friend and I can't go. Why I can't go? Because, bitch, it ain't about you.
Right.
So it's one of, I've had that happen with really close girlfriends, too, where they've chosen their significant other and I don't care for them. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to make you choose. You just won't hear from me for a while. And if you're hanging out with them, don't call me.
Right.
Because I'm not going to make you choose. And then you're going to eventually see the error in your ways, or you're not, and we're never going to be friends again. That's just, we won't hang out like that again. And that's your choice. Like, who you choose as your mate is your choice. I'm not fucking you, so if that's who you choose, that's who you choose. I'm never going to make you choose between me and another girl or me and your dude. I'm just not going to do that. I'll never win because I'm not fucking you. So it's pointless to even have that conversation. So I've cut a lot of friends off because of that. Like, if every time we get together, your significant other has to be there, and I feel like it happens more with men than it does with women. Women can go out with their girlfriends, no big deal, their men don't care, whatever the case may be. It's something to do with the opposite sex thing, whether they've been knowing you their whole life or not, that the girlfriend is always like, well, why can't I go? And like I said before, because, bitch, it ain't about you. That one hits close to home because I've had that happen to me many a times. And that's why I say I don't even have that conversation anymore. I just, okay, that's who you choose. I don't fuck with them like that. Good. And if she can't understand that you have friendships outside of her, that you're going to do shit outside of her, then God bless you and her together. Hope it works for you.
Man, we need that on a little mixtape. We need to remix that. But bitch, it ain't about you.
It isn't, because it's not. It really isn't. But a lot of these females get into their feelings and go, why can't I go? You don't have, like, I don't know, maybe that's the Gemini in me, but I'm a very independent person. I go to the movies by myself. I'll go eat by myself, all of that stuff. I do not need a leash. A phone is an electronic leash on its own. Like, yeah, I want to be in a relationship with a significant other, do things that's significant, but I want to have my life outside of you too. And I think that's the thing that people forget. Like, for example, you come into town, you live somewhere else, you're going into town to see your friends, whatever the case may be, you're at home, they all know you're home. Instead of them calling you and going, hey, I know you're home, let's meet up and do this, their significant other calls you and goes, hey, you want to get together? No, bitch, I don't know you like that. Why are you calling me and why isn't he the one calling me? Like,
right.
If I'm home, I'm here to see my friends. I'm not here to see my friend's significant other. Now, if it's an event or something you're throwing and you invited me to because I'm home that weekend and your girl happens to be there, great. But don't say, I want to meet up with you for dinner, I want to meet up with you for drinks, and then you have your girl call me like she's your fucking secretary to schedule it. No. If you don't have enough time to pick up the phone and schedule something with me, then forget it. We don't need to see each other.
Right, and like I said, if you ain't marrying her, I ain't want nothing to do with it.
And that, you know what? And two, I've had that conversation with my friends too. And we're going to, this is a conversation we're going to come back to. I don't need to meet every one of your little side pieces, girlfriends, whatever the case may be. Like, if you're not serious about this girl, I don't want to meet her. If you can't put a label on this girl, I don't want to meet her. I don't want her around me. Until you're serious about a girl and you're like, okay, Dorothy, I feel, especially with the age that I am now, I'm not a fucking teenager. I'm not in my young 20s where it's like, okay, I'm just dating around. If you're not talking about marrying this girl, I don't want to meet her. That's just where I'm at with it. I'm tired of meeting all these girls, becoming friends with them. Either she does something fucked up or you do something fucked up. The relationship devolves and I gotta pick a side on whose friends I'm gonna be with. Maybe I really like that bitch. And now I can't talk to her because I'm, you're my peoples and y'all ended badly. Like, I'm tired of that. I don't want to meet no more girlfriends.
And don't get offended by our vernacular, okay? I know some of you guys get mad when we say bitch.
Girl, stop. I'm sure some girl has called me a bitch too. Like, don't bring that bitch with you. And
so don't get mad, okay?
Yes, please. If you get mad, it's because you're that bitch. You're that bitch that gets all in her feelings because her dude wants to go do something outside of her. You're that bitch. Check yourself and get a life. Get a hobby.
And today was a good day.
That's all I'm saying. Like, if you're in your feelings right now, it's because you're that girl where you cannot breathe, you cannot walk, you cannot do anything without your boyfriend being right next to you.
That's just too codependent.
Exactly. Exactly.
Man, some of you motherfuckers can't even go eat by yourself.
And these are the same people running around calling themselves bosses. I'm a boss ass bitch. No, bitch, you're not. You're codependent is what you are.
Oh my God, that reminds me of that song. I'm a boss ass bitch.
So I'm just saying. That's just where I sit with that. And I know we kind of went off the beaten path of the friends and all of that, but it all kind of intertwines together with each other. Like, girlfriends need to realize if this is a female that he knew before you and you know that relationship is strictly platonic, stop pissing on people's parade. You ain't got to be everywhere all the time.
Right, and don't bring two of your bitches to my event because I'm not about to deal with the shenanigans. I'll kick both of the bitches out. We not supposed to do that. Yeah, some of you men like to function that way. Fucking cats.
Yeah, that's that's a little bit much too. You're doing the most. You are doing the most.
Yeah, some of y'all are probably like, damn, all types of cats. Yes, we told y'all.
There's all types of cats out here, but this particular segment about loyalty and supportive friends is really a big issue because I think that there's a lot of people out there that don't really know what friendship is, and friendship is just not calling someone your brother or your sister or your friend. Friendship is actually being there and showing up for people. That's important. If they're telling you or they're inviting you to something, that means that to them it's important for you to be there. Now, if you just can't do it because of funds or work or whatever the case may be, I get that. And you make that known ahead of time. But if someone's giving you 2-3 months in advance, I'm sorry. There's really no excuse for that unless you have something else planned to me through 2-3 months in advance in that same time slot. Other than that, there really is no excuse to me for you not to show up for your friends. If your friends are important to you. So you can't tell me you ain't got time for it because you make time for what you feel is important to you.
Man, shit, we need to, you know what? We might be onto something. We need to come out with a cattin' off Bible, do's and don'ts.
Well, welcome to the cat and off segment. Welcome to the cat and off segment. Yeah, I mean, we went a little, like I said, we went a little bit off topic, but all those things become intertwined on being a supportive friend. Like, people really need to check themselves and really try to identify what friendship means to them, and then show up for people that you feel like are your friends. Everything is a learning experience. You may not know that you're catting off. You may not, you know what I mean? You may not know. You may not know that you're catting off. You may just feel like, damn, every time this person asks me to do something, I'm always broke and I don't know how to tell them that I'm broke. Or every time this person asks me to do something, I got work obligations or I got whatever. Whatever it is, like, you need to just be honest about your shit too. Like, I feel like a lot of people cat off because they're lying. Like, oh, I can't because I'm doing X, Y, and Z and they ain't doing shit but laying up in their bed.
Right, and please don't. The cat that I absolutely hate, please don't fucking do this, is vacation cats. Up until vacation, you can't fucking no. Please don't do this shit. I hate this. Talking about, oh, I needed a passport to go here? Oh, shit, I can't go. I don't have a passport. What you mean? 5 fucking months. You could have planned to have your motherfucking passport. No, we ain't doing this.
Yeah, that's a bit much. Or I'm going on vacation with you, and then they tell you the week before that they can't go.
No.
That shit's crazy, too.
I can't.
Like, you've been planning this whole thing, whatever, and then you get to the last week and you're like, oh, really? So I just paid all this money and shit. Especially if it was only supposed to be you and another person and they cat on you and you're just like, well, great.
I've had that, and I've went ham.
Like, and sometimes I've been like, fuck it, I'm just gonna go anyway. And other times I'm like, damn, my whole shit's ruined. I gotta reschedule everything. And then it's like, okay, I get it. Emergencies happen, things happen, I get that. But if 90% of the time someone is inviting you to something that you always got some bullshit ass reason why you can't attend or why you can't go, or there's always some like catastrophic event that happened, like, come on, dog. Enough is enough. Just say no. I'd rather you just tell me no, I can't do it, than you to tell me, oh, let me think, let me look into this, that, knowing full and fucking well you wasn't planning on showing up at all. Like, just be fucking honest with me, I can't do it. Alright, cool, whatever. But that whole, let me see, let me check my schedule.
That's a no.
That's a fucking, yeah, that's an excuse that's pacifying me. Just fucking tell me no and keep it pushing.
And then these the same motherfuckers be trying to plan shit. And I'll just be sitting there looking at y'all like, yeah.
Or the people that be like, oh, I'm going to plan something for you. And then it gets to the day with actual planning and they hitting you up talking about, well, so what you want to do? Nigga, you were supposed to have this plan already. What you calling me for? That shit's ridiculous. Shit. Especially if it's something as simple as let's go get drinks, let's go get dinner. Fucking pick a restaurant, pick a bar. Tell me where to meet you. It ain't fucking rocket science. I'm not asking you to plan my 30th birthday. I'm asking you to meet up with me to have a fucking drink. Where do you want to go?
Or come fucking pick me up.
It's real fucking simple. It's not fucking rocket science.
Yes, so as you can see, we feel some type of way about these cats out here. If you guys have an interesting story that you want to share, please do that. And you guys, when we say share, email us, hit us up, DM us. Don't just like and favorite our shit. Like, engage with us, please.
Yes, please. Let us know your thoughts. Let us know your comments. If there's stuff that you want us to talk about, or if any of this stuff like hit a trigger or anything with you and you're like, oh, they should have talked about this or this has happened to me. We want to hear your stories. We'll definitely give you a shout out. We'll read your story online and we'll discuss it. And if you need advice, we'll give you advice. Especially when it comes to this like cat and off stuff. Like, I know that people have different cat and off stories where people have cat on them for all kinds of different reasons. And I just really want to know, what are your stories? How do you feel about it? So don't just drop a comment. Let us know what you're thinking.
Right, and also, I hear that people really wanted this cat and off segment to come off. It's not a segment that we do every show, but it is a segment that we will do frequently. So if you guys really like this, please engage with us. We would like that.
Yeah, I mean, that makes the cat and off segment even better when we have engagement from you guys, because we have our own experiences and we can keep talking about our own experiences because we can talk for days about that kind of stuff, but it always makes it more interesting when we hear other people's perspective and point of views. You may not agree with us at all. That's great too. I want to hear what you have to say if you don't agree with us and why you don't agree with us so that we can see it from another person's perspective. But my last thing on this whole thing is be a good friend. Be a friend that you'd want someone to be a friend to you. Do unto others as you have them do unto you. That's all I would say.
Yes, I'm over here silent clapping in sign language. Yes, let it rain.
That's what I think. So yeah, let us know what you guys think about this cat and off segment. If you guys have suggestions of some cat and off situation that's happened to you, especially since the summertime is coming up, I know there's going to be a lot of cats out there. Summertime. Because summertime breeds cats. So please let us know what your situation is for this summer. Because there's a lot of festivals and parties and vacation spots and all of that. And I'm pretty sure that you guys are going to have some situation where someone cat off on you. The next cat and off I really would like to talk about is dating cat and off. Like, have you ever gone on a date with somebody and the dude is either testing you or he really left his wallet at home type shit? and expects you to pay for it, or the check comes and he's looking at you like, are we going Dutch? Are we splitting it?
Oh, yes. And to add to that, because I know y'all be in the DM, so I want to hear about your flyouts. And if the motherfucker catted off, or if she catted off, somebody didn't have funds and you had to send their asses back home, I want to hear about it.
Because you know that happens. We know it happens. So the dating cat is out there. There's so many different levels of date catting. Like, you go on a date with a dude, you think everything is cool and copacetic, and he goes ghost on your ass. What the fuck happened? Why did he go up missing? You know, that kind of thing. Or you're dating a dude and you think everything is cool, and then you find out he got a whole ass situation that you didn't even know about.
A whole ass situation.
Situation. We talked about that in one of our earlier episodes. You guys should totally go back and listen to that. But I know that the dating catting off is going to be huge this summer. So let's start there. Let us know what you think about what's happened thus far in the summer, because today is technically the first day of summer. Let's get it popping.
Oh man, this cat off segment was crazy as fuck. But yes, you guys, please hit us up because we want to hear your stories. And we are out until next time. Make sure you're hitting us up on all platforms: SoundCloud, YouTube. We Peeped It First. You can hit us up at We Peeped It First on Gmail. Make sure you're hitting us up on Instagram and Twitter. We Peeped It First. DA Topic Queen and Peep, the one and only. Y'all know where to find us. All right, we out.
Don't ever forget that.
Don't ever forget, we peeped it first.